Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I just have a special announcement to specifically men who are at least 40 years old or over. Uh, I certainly ask that you please go get your prostate examined. Please get screened for prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is one of the biggest killers among men, especially African American men. Um, I've been tested twice. When I first turned 40 years old, I did ask my doctor for me to get screened for prostate cancer, even though I don't have prostate cancer in my family, to my knowledge. I mean, I had some cousins, some distant relatives who were diagnosed with it and even died from it. But as far as my immediate family, I don't have anybody. But still, even if you don't have uh, prostate cancer running in your family, as far as your immediate genes, still get tested regardless, because you probably would get it even if you don't, even if your father, your grandfather, or your uncle didn't have it. Okay, that's still a great precaution, because when you get tested and you're diagnosed with it, uh, possibly they'll be able to catch your cancer in time, and they'll be able to nip that cancer in the bud, and more likely you will not have a reoccurrence of it. You'll be cured from it, inshallah. Um, but if you're 40 or in your 40s and you haven't gotten checked yet, please go to the doctor and ask him to run a PSA. Have them take have them have the doctor send you to the lab so they can run a PSA. PSA is a blood test that they use to check for your prostate. Some doctors, they still check your prostate the old way, um, which is they do a digital rectal exam. They take a glove and stick their finger up in your rectum and ask you to cough, which is even more uncomfortable than going to the lab and having your vein poked by the needle. But either way, please get tested. And if you're at least 45 and over, also get a Cologuard exam. And what that is, you probably have seen the commercials for Cologuard. It's a do-it-yourself test. It's self-explanatory, where you basically take a sample of your poop, and you put a solution in a specimen where your poop is, and you have that, and you send it to the laboratory, and they test that to make sure there are no signs of a polyp or any alarming signs for possible colon cancer. If they do find something positive, then that means they would want you to go and get a colonoscopy done. They used to make you wait until you're 50 years or over to get something like that done, but now they're lowering the age down for that. I actually knew of some people who actually were diagnosed with colon cancer when they were even in their 30s. Some even died at a very young age from it. They weren't even 40 years old. So it's actually wise for you to go ahead and get it tested, unless you have a family history of it, for you to even get it earlier than the age I suggested. So this is just a message from me. And if you're one of those guys or who don't like going to the doctors, who refuse to go to the doctors, you need to go to the doctors. You need to find a highly skilled physician that, you know, has a very good record of treating his or her patients, you know, and get an appointment, get insurance. If you're working, I'm sure you have health insurance. Use that health insurance and find yourself a highly skilled, qualified physician, especially if they have very high marks. Let's say there's a doctor out of 5 stars. Let's say there's a doctor who has 5 stars. Of course, you want a doctor who has 5 stars or at least 4 stars, right? Find a doctor in between those numbers. Don't get like a doctor that has like 3 or 2 or 1, because they're not going to do a very good job in treating you, and they probably would misdiagnose you with something that you never had. So get a doctor who's more qualified and who has a high rating. Let's see what else. And that's all I gotta say. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to everyone else.